You're listening to FUBAR Weekly on KDSR, Demo Spin Radio, brought to you by ARC Network Live 365, the station where everyone deserves to be heard. The following program contains strong language and adult content. Listener discretion is advised. All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. No, wrong mic. Use the other one. That one's got the hum. Yeah. Sorry, should have told you that. We shut that down while you. Hi, everybody. FUBAR Weekly Show here. We do this every Tuesday night, with the exception of Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. But we do this every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time here in lovely Tampa, Florida. I'm Roger. Across from me is the lovely, the talented, the beautiful, the silly.
This is good shorter.
It's probably the first time in your life you wanted something shorter. It was a dick joke. If you need to drop it down, there's a... There you go. You could do that. And there's a small knob on your left side. Turn that in the whole... Turn it towards me, and then pull the microphone down. Look at that shit.
Magic. Okay, thank you.
Of course, this is shit you should have done.
I thought it was using that one.
No, that one's got a wicked hum on it.
I don't know.
See, we have no hum today. What's going on, everybody out there in listener land? Today is Tuesday, the 3rd of December. 22 more shoplifting days till Christmas. Make sure you get your shit. Why are you smiling like that?
Because I prevented somebody from shoplifting yesterday at Barnes & Noble.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
They were repeat offenders. And they only were like 3 days apart, which is silly. And one of the women was literally wearing the same outfit.
See, I don't know about Florida. I'm very familiar with the shoplifting related laws within the state of New York. And if you shoplift within 6 months, I think, of each other, the second shoplifting offense becomes a felony.
I wish that was the case. I was just told we're not allowed to detain anybody or accuse anybody of anything until you see them physically leaving the store. But you are allowed to interfere and offer excellent customer service and make sure that they're fully taken care of.
That is the way. It's funny. The liability of stopping a shoplifter is incredibly high. And one time in my loss prevention career, I did make a bad stop where I stopped somebody that didn't have the merchandise on them. It was a hat at JCPenney's many, many moons ago. The guy picked up the hat, he stashed it. Like, basically, he did it to fuck with us, to cause a bad stop. But I went off of somebody else's word that he still had it. I should not have done that. And I learned my lesson. Fortunately, didn't get sued. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
I don't like the shoplifting rules because even if you see somebody do something, like, you can't really like.
Well, most retail companies have, that's company policy. And most companies that have actual in-store loss prevention store detectives, there's what they call the 5-step rule. And these are 5 things that have to occur in order for you to make a stop. And it's entry into the department, selection of merchandise, concealment of the merchandise, uninterrupted observation, and exit.
Well, see, the thing is that a lot of the people who steal from my retail establishment, they steal bigger items, like big items, and they just like walk out.
Well, yeah.
They just walk out. So there's no concealment.
Well, the concealment end of it can be, is flexible. But, obviously, if you don't witness them conceal it and they are, like, it's a TV, well, obviously you can't conceal a TV, but there's also no question that they fucking have it. Right.
But, like, we can't leave the store to apprehend them either. So you have basically the like 8-foot foyer of like
and a lot of companies that have actual loss prevention, they have a rule, like a curb rule. If they get past the curb, you got to let them go. Get a description of the vehicle they were in, get whatever information you can, but you can't pursue them beyond that.
It's a really shitty thing that people want to complain about bookstores going out of business, but they're literally stealing from us.
Well, yeah, I mean, who cares? It's a book.
But they steal toys and stuff
Yeah,
and vinyls.
like the pop vinyls.
No, like vinyl records.
Oh, how the fuck do you? Well, you just carry it out.
Yeah. So
fucking people.
yeah, I'm not happy about it. But yeah, there was these repeat offenders, and we recognize them from previous. And we have the headsets, with that only the employees can hear. And I just kind of felt I felt something was off, and I just went to go ask them if they needed any help finding anything. And then my manager came over and said, "Oh, can we bring those items to we'll hold them for the front for you, so nobody else will buy them." And then they kind of just left.
Put the stuff away.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some crazy ass stories of shit I've done and seen, loss prevention wise. One of the crazier ones was I got bit stopping a shoplifter.
I've been bit by a customer before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how bad of a bite?
It was pretty bad. Like I had to go get a tetanus shot.
Wow.
Yeah. Not at retail though, in working at a bar. That was right after the Miami zombie thing happened. So
Friday. Hang on. All right, so this biting of the shoplifter biting me. It was a woman. Her name was Valerie Brewster, and I have no problem with saying her name because she is a convicted felon. She did go to prison for this, and multiple other crimes. She stole, and this is how old this was. She stole a whole shitload of FUBU clothing.
For us, by us.
But this was back in this was 90, 99, 2000, right around there. And so this is at JCPenney's. It was in the men's department, which was on the second floor of this mall. I won't say what mall it was, but you could pretty much figure it out. She literally arm full of clothing. So there was no concealment. She just had clothing piled in her arm. She went through a fire exit. And we knew she was going to do it. So I was waiting down at the bottom of the fire exit. The only place to go is down and only one door out. So I was waiting down there. So as soon as she popped out, it's like, how are you? Come on, let's go back inside. So we walked back inside and walked to the middle of the store where there were escalators. We would never take a perp through on the elevator. We would always take them up the escalator this way. We were on camera the whole time.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's John Butera.
Tell him I said hi.
I'll tell him later.
Okay.
So we get to the escalator. Right as we get to the bottom of the escalator, she's like, "I ain't fucking going nowhere with you." And she throws the clothes in my face and takes off running. Okay. This is back. I was still in relatively good shape. So I take off running after her and I tackle her in the jewelry department. Like full on. I broke down. It was a great form tackle. I mean, I wish I still had the video because I could put it on my fucking football highlight reel. But so I tackled her and I'm wrestling with her. And she was pretty fucking strong. And this is in the day before cell phones, but I was still worried about like somebody videotaping and me getting in trouble. So I'm wrestling with them, trying to get her handcuffed because now it's a robbery at this point, or an attempted robbery. And I ended up pinning her down. Now, a funny side note to this is I had a pounding headache that day. And the person I was working with decided, you know what, I'm going to give you a Vicodin to take care of your headache. And I think I only took half of it, but I was still a little loopy, but I couldn't feel any pain. So I'm wrestling with this chick and she bites my forearm. And I used to have a scar. It went away, but you could tell she was a crackhead because there was some teeth missing and the rest of them were crooked. But she clamped down on my forearm. I mean, I don't think I bled, but it was a pretty deep bite. And as soon as she put her mouth off me, she yells right in my face, "I have AIDS, now you have AIDS too." I'm like, this day is going fucking fantastic. So I'm still wrestling with obviously when perps yell shit at you, it's usually bullshit. So cops show up, I let her up, and she's still trying to make it for the exit. Like I had the girl I was working with close the gates to the mall. Yeah. Like almost all the way down so she couldn't get out. She was looking to run to the gate and slide under it. They finally get it. And then at this point, she's now saying that she's 8 months pregnant and she thinks I broke her arm. So, ambulance shows up. I was pretty young at the time. I think I was maybe 18, 19. I think it was 19. And so ambulance comes, takes me and her to the hospital, takes her for this alleged broken arm, takes me for the human bite. And we're riding in the same ambulance. I'm in the front. She's in the back. And I say to the driver of the ambulance, I'm like, is it a good idea to have us both in the same ambulance? Because she's talking all kinds of mad shit back there. He was an off-duty cop, pulls up his pant leg. He's got his pistol on an ankle holster. He's like, hey, if she decides to get porky, I'll shoot her. I'm like, I like you, son. So we go to the hospital. I get treated. And it turned out I knew the ER nurse. And as I'm sitting in the room getting treated, I hear in the hallway somebody say, did you see? And they gave a physical description. It was, heavy set, African-American female, braided hair, wearing, I forget what the hell she was wearing. And she got away from the cop at the hospital. She escaped.
Well, she got what she wanted.
Oh, well, they caught her.
Eventually.
Well, the campus police caught her because it was a university hospital. Campus police caught her. She had taken her shirt off. So now she's just wearing a sports bra. And she put her braids into a ponytail braid, braid ponytail, whatever you want to call it. And she's now talking with a fake Jamaican accent. I wish I was making this up. She's like, no, you got the wrong. They bring me out to the loading dock to ID her. She's like, no, it's not me. I'm like, funny, because the person I was wrestling with had the same tattoo on her tit that said Lucille. And then the cop fucking asked the detectives that were there, should I take her back in for treatment? They're like, no, she's fucking fine. So I ended up having to go, I had to get an attorney and I had to sue her. I had to get tested every 6 months for all kinds of shit. And it turns out she didn't have any of it, thank God. But that was pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. I told the sergeant when she came in to tell me that she escaped, I'm like, you better find her before I do.
I bit the woman back who bit me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I bit her on her leg.
Nice.
We were kind of she bit. I was trying to get her out of the bar that I was working at, and I kind of put my hands up because she started getting feisty with me, and I kind of was like, hey, watch out. And she bit my hand. And then I just lost my mind when she bit me. And I was just like, Yeah. So then we ended up fighting and rolling around on the street. And then we were kind of backwards, 69 position, we'll call it.
Not
really.
Turn the lights down, turn on some jazz.
No, it was not that kind of thing. But my head was by her legs and vice versa.
Okay. And
I ended up biting her calf. So
if you bite me, then I'll bite you back.
Yeah. It wasn't a good day. It was fun though.
It happens.
It happens. And that was I had only been a bartender for 3 months or something.
That's us, trial by fire.
Oh yeah. That was one of those days. So, and then I saw her again 2 weeks later and she threw a chair at somebody and I'm like, that's her, take her out.
Same bitch, get her out of here.
So
nah, that's crazy. Crazy.
People are cray.
Yeah.
Cray.
They caught one of the law enforcement jobs I had. They caught a perp that had a gun on him and they didn't check him. They had him handcuffed. They had him sitting there. He was wearing a suit jacket. And he had a 38 caliber pistol in his suit jacket pocket. And they didn't check him.
Don't they pat you down when they do that and everything?
Well, they're supposed to. They didn't, and it didn't get found till the cops showed up. The cops found it. So what I did was a friend of mine worked in the crime lab up there. I had him take not the same gun because that's evidence, but the same caliber, fired 3 bullets. I wasn't there that day. Mm-hmm. Give me 3 expended bullets. And I gave them to the 3 people that were working that day and told them it's better to see it from the outside than feel it from the inside. As a little reminder to fucking check them. Good. Yeah. Good. Pretty fucked up. What's going on out there in listener land, everybody? Hi. How are you? Hope your Thanksgiving was delicious. Mine was. The pie. I was telling you about the pies before.
Bye.
We had quite a few. We were at my sister's house. We had quite a few people, but we had way too much pie for that many people. So I felt obligated. After your mom says hello, I felt obligated to have a piece of every pie that was there, with the exception of pumpkin pie, because that's fucking disgusting.
Pumpkin pie is nasty.
Yeah,
it's mush. It's baby food.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like it's like diarrhea pie. So I, had a slice of chocolate cream pie, I had a slice of key lime pie, I had a slice of pecan pie. It was a diabetes fucking nightmare. It was good.
Food Bar Weekly. I'm looking at us on the internet.
Yeah.
No Malarkey.
Yeah.
I tried. It's on silent. The media's on silent, but then it just jumps back up. It jumps back up. Can I tell you whose birthday it is today?
Whose birthday is it?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Happy birthday, Prince of Darkness.
He turns 71 today.
Nice.
And Julianne Moore turns 59 today. Yeah. Go Julianne. There's a bunch of other people, but I didn't know who they were. So those are the 2 that I just felt like sharing.
Nice.
I have a couple of other segments for you today. So when you decide that you want to hear them, I'll be happy to tell you.
Well, because I knew you already had them, but since you had to bring it up, there must be something in there. You got a lot of shit. Holy shit!
I do. I have a couple of things today. I have today happy birthdays. I have today in history.
Give me today in history.
So there's 4 things that I want to tell you about today in history. In 1586, Sir Thomas Harriot introduced potatoes to England from Colombia.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the Irish have never been the same since.
Yeah. And then moving forward to 1922, the first successful Technicolor movie, which was Tall of the Seas, shown in New York.
Nice.
1961, Dutchman Anton Geesink, I'm not sure how to say his name, becomes the first non-Japanese judo world champion.
Nice.
That one's for my dad. Throwing that out there. Okay.
Dad's into judo?
Yeah.
What do martial arts and bagels have in common?
What?
Judo. But
and then the last day in history is 1967. The first successful human heart transplant was performed by Dr. Christian Bernard on Louis Washkansky in South Africa.
Nice.
Yeah, those are my today in history facts.
You know anybody that's had a heart transplant?
I do not.
I have known 2.
I've known somebody who's had a quadruple bypass.
All right. Didn't just go for the regular bypass, a double or the triple. They went full on quadruple.
Yeah.
That's probably where I'm going to end up. Or my heart's just going to fucking explode. One of those 2 things.
But yeah, so
and that's that.
Those are my today in history facts.
Nice.
So
you know what? One thing I saw. We don't like to get political on this show, but sometimes things in politics have to be made fun of. And Joe Biden, who's creepy as fuck, creepy Uncle Joe, his tour bus, I guess, is called the No Malarkey Express. He's bringing back the word malarkey. Malarkey.
I would expect that from Bernie Sanders, not from Joe Biden.
I mean, Joe's kind of old, but yeah. Bernie, I could definitely see Bernie. No malarkey. But yeah, malarkey, and it made me think like that's an old timey phrase. So like, what other old timey phrases are there? So I Googled it. I asked the Google. Okay.
My favorite one is "It's raining cats and dogs."
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like "It's raining like a cow pissing on a flat rock." That's not really an old timey one, but I like it. So here's some phrases that how a wet sock. You ever hear his handshake was like a wet sock?
Okay.
That's an old timey phrase, like a wet sock. Happy cabbage is a sizable amount of money to be spent on self-satisfying things, like cabbage. That was the old days, I guess. Pang wangle.
Pang wangle?
Is to live or go along cheerfully in spite of minor misfortunes, like Mickey Mouse.
What is that again?
Pang wangle. It's a hyphenated word, P-A-N-G hyphen. Don't spell the hyphen, just put the hyphen in. Wangle, W-A-N-G-L-E.
I'm gonna. Do you use that like I'm going all pang wangle on this or whatever?
I guess.
I'm gonna use that phrase because I feel like I'm a pang wangle person.
For us business people, in the ketchup means in the red or operating at a deficit.
Oh.
Malarkey always reminds me of John Mulvaney. Does he do a bit on malarkey?
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah.
Right. I like John Mulaney. Flub the dub means to evade one's duty.
I like that my mom knows who John Mulaney is.
That's awesome.
So,
A butter and egg man has nothing to do with breakfast preferences. It's actually, according to one dictionary, a wealthy but unsophisticated small town businessman who acts like a playboy when he visits the big city.
so like somebody who like acts like he's a baller but not.
Well, he's a baller from a small town, so when he goes to the city, he acts like a city baller. But it's obvious, like when you see new money or money out of place, you see it. It's noticeable.
Okay.
Zib is a nincompoop. That's off this website. So they used an old timey word to describe an old timey word. All right. To give someone the wind is to jilt a suitor, which nowadays we call the rose ceremony on The Bachelor. Okay. I guess just ignore ghosting, I guess.
What was that again?
To give someone the wind.
No, what was the phrase? Oh, to give some the wind.
Yeah. give someone the wind.
That kind of makes sense. You throw
just, like,
somebody to the
blow
wind.
someone off. Blow
Yeah.
someone off. The 1909 book Passing English of the Victorian Era, a dictionary of heterodox English slang and phrase, captured some great phrases that were falling out of favor even back then. For existence, they called sausages bags o' mystery, which they are. Meredith, what kind of sausages? Pork sausages. I mean, that makes sense. To cop a mouse meant to get a black eye. Not to be confused with the terrifying cockamouse from How I Met Your Mother. I don't get that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I never saw that show. Don't sell me a dog was a fancy way of saying don't lie to me. A door knocker was a type of beard shaved, leaving hair under the chin and upon each side of the mouth, forming with mustache something like a door knocker. I know knockers to be something else. Boobies.
They're holding up my phone.
A bald head was called a fly rink. This one sounds like it's out of Harry Potter. A giggle mug was a habitually smiling face. Whereas, of course, a giggle mugshot is a picture of Robert Downey Jr. after he got arrested. Oh, why you gotta pick on the guy? A nosebagger was someone who takes a day trip to the beach, brings his own provisions, and doesn't contribute at all to the resort he's visiting. Yeah, that's a dick move. That's like bringing your own booze to the bar. Not that I've ever done that before. What?
I was thinking about how I said this to Kayla the other day, that we went from spilling the cat out of the bag to spilling the beans to spilling the tea.
What was letting the cat out of the bag?
Right, but you're technically spilling the cat. So things that keep falling out of things.
See, well, I mean, letting the cat out of the bag is a lot different than dumping the cat. Like letting the cat out of the bag, like to me, like visually, I'm thinking like you open up the bag and the cat runs out. Like you're saying, like fucking heave the fucking bag, dump the cat out. It's gonna land on its feet anyway, so it's cool.
But like, I was talking about the progression of spilling things in reference to talking gossip. So you spill the beans, and then
what? Go ahead. No, keep saying.
Hussy. Oh yeah, you're spilling the beans and then you spill the tea. Now we spill the tea. Like tell me the gossip.
Okay.
Which is funny. It's like we keep spilling things. Why don't we just spill the same thing? Did nobody eat beans anymore?
Your mom's favorite word is hussy.
I like strumpet.
Strumpet. Trollop.
Yeah. Well, then there's hussy. So
old words for slut shaming. Take the egg means to win. Actually, take the egg from what, in my experience, means you got zero. Means you lost an egg. Like, you ever watch tennis and they give the scores like 30 love?
Yeah, that means nothing.
Love is derived from the French word loaf, which means egg. Loaf.
I don't know.
Loaf.
Ooh.
It's the French word for egg, which is zero. You get nothing. You lose. A rain napper was an umbrella. And your mouth was your sauce box.
It sure is.
But then it says context is everything. I think in any context, it might be accurate. So, old time, like I use, and people bust my ball, you're sexist. No, I use the word broads a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's an old timey word.
I like the word broads.
I like using the word broads.
I know that it's slightly derogatory, but I'm just like, I think of it, it's like, it's a broad. Like it's a broad statement. Like it encompasses all of the women.
Yeah.
It's a broad category.
I mean, referred to the hips at the time, but
or shoulders, depending, I guess.
Yeah. Bruce Jenner. Looking at you, Bruce. Yeah. So old timey. It's good to use those old timey words, but no malarkey. I got to be honest with you. If he's trying to win over the millennials, using a word like malarkey is probably not the way to do it.
I guess I would vote for Joe Biden. No, I wouldn't.
Really? Would you like me to play the clip of him talking about how he likes to have children sit in his lap? And
no, he's really Santa Claus. I already know he's Santa Claus.
He's Santa Claus?
Because he likes to have children sit in his lap.
Yeah, but for different reasons.
How do you know? You don't know what Santa Claus's intentions are.
Santa Claus likes children to sit on his lap so they could tell him what they want for Christmas. Joe Biden likes it when children sit on his lap and they talk about the first thing that comes up. It was an erection joke.
I got it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard.
Just sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, Joe Biden's got no chance. Fuck him.
I want to tell you one of my Florida man stories because of Joe Biden.
Okay, give me Florida man.
This Florida man was arrested after offering undercover cop a hamburger in exchange for oral sex.
Wait, what?
Florida man arrested after offering undercover cop a hamburger in exchange for oral sex.
Was it a female cop or a male cop?
Probably a female cop.
Hey, he could go either way. He should have told the cop that he eats ass. Seriously, I heard that's all the rage these days.
Eating ass?
Eating ass is like the thing. I don't know.
Oh, well.
Your mom says you don't like Sandy Claus?
I don't like Sandy Claus.
Why don't you like Sandy Claus?
I will show you a photograph of why I don't like Sandy Claus on the internet.
Okay.
Right now, in a second.
I need to see this. I need to explore why you don't like Santa Claus.
View profile picture. Yes, I want to view my profile picture.
I dislike Santa Claus too, so it's all right.
I don't like sitting on old man's lap telling him all my dirty little secrets. I mean, I do, but just not Santa Claus.
I was just gonna say, I've seen your hobbies. Is that you?
Yes.
Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh man, you look so fucking, and you're like leaning away from him.
I'm like, ew.
You are leaning away from him in the same way young girls lean away from Joe Biden. It's crazy.
Maybe that's just Joe Biden. Maybe it's Joe Biden in there.
See, my thing with Santa Claus, like it went from Saint Nicholas, who gave things that were useful to the children, to the Coca-Cola version of Santa Claus that we know and love today. That red suit didn't exist that long ago.
That red, yeah, he didn't wear that. And he gave kids socks.
Yeah, useful things. Coal was not a bad thing to get back then.
No, because you could work and make it hot.
Exactly.
Keep you warm.
Exactly. And the version of Santa Claus we know was invented by Coca-Cola. And the holidays become so over commercialized. I mean, I talked about this last year too. It's become so over commercialized that it's all about, like, every commercial I see isn't about the holiday spirit, and it's about getting presents. All I care about is getting presents.
Do you know what today's holiday is?
What's today's holiday?
Giving Tuesday.
Nice.
That is because we had Thanksgiving, and then we had Black Friday, and then we had the weekend, whatever they call that, and then we had Cyber Monday, and now everybody's
Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday. Thank you.
Can't forget that.
Whatever, God's Lord's Day Sunday, whatever.
Praise Cheez-Its.
And
no Chick-fil-A day.
And now we have Giving Tuesday. So it's Giving Tuesday, which is celebrated the Tuesday after Thanksgiving every year.
I'm proud to say that I did give today.
What did you give? And who did you give it to?
Well, I gave some money to the Salvation Army.
Okay.
And I gave a biopsy skin sample to my doctor and some blood to a phlebotomist.
You kind of sold them the biopsy.
No, I actually paid them to take it.
Oh, you paid them.
I paid them.
Yeah, they paid.
I paid them a copay, and my insurance paid them for them to cut me apart and take bits and pieces of me. I actually felt weird. Like, look, she showed me the jar that had the little piece of skin in it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's a piece of me in that jar, and I will never get that piece of me back. And that makes me sad.
Every time you poop, the same thing happens.
Yeah, but that's all right, though. It's poop.
Listen, I'm used to shedding my uterine lining every month, so I'm used to having parts of me just being flushed down the toilet.
You can't trust something that bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die.
That's true. Don't trust me. Don't trust me.
I trust you. So Giving Tuesday. All right.
Giving Tuesday.
Are there any other wacky holidays today?
They're actually not all that wacky. Today's Make a Gift Day.
Okay.
There is International Persons with Disabilities Day.
All right.
National Roof Over Your Head Day, which is another thing about being thankful.
I'm thankful I still have that.
And this is the only thing that I don't understand about today's holiday: World Trick Shot Day.
I guess.
Basketball?
I guess.
So that's the only thing I can think of for
the going back to the whole Santa Claus thing. Like, somebody asked a question of, oh Jesus. Somebody asked the question on Facebook. One of my friends said, what do you get a guy for, what's a man want for Christmas? And legitimately, the things I've ever wanted, like, I hate opening presents. I hate getting presents. And always, that takes the fun from somebody else. I'm like, no, but there are other people you can buy shit for. You don't need to buy me shit to buy my love and affection.
Yeah.
I don't require. I'm a very simple person. I don't have, I'm not a big materialistic guy. So I said the best things are experiences, things to make memories. Last year, she got me and my son tickets to see Willie Nelson in concert. I've never seen Willie before.
Mhm.
Raj wanted to see Willie before he dies, which is probably coming soon. Sad. Rip. I love Willie. But things like that mean more to me. Not even like that doesn't have to be concert tickets. We could just go a day going somewhere to the
Mhm.
beach or see something. Like things like that mean more to me than any trinket. I've also told her that what do you want for Christmas? You naked with a big red bow. I still haven't gotten that. So bows aren't that expensive, right? I don't know. I don't buy
They
those.
literally have lingerie that looks like a bow that you untie.
I know. But those are the things. It doesn't. Things that are homemade, handmade. Actually, I was watching a thing on Elvis Presley, and when people would send him shit, like this is, Elvis was popular back in the days when you sent an actual fan letter. You didn't just go on Instagram and say you suck. People sent Elvis Presley all kinds of things, jewelry, rings, things they've made, and he saved everything.
Mhm.
Like nothing got thrown out or just like letters got saved. Anything somebody sent him, he actually saw. He saw everything that was sent to him, and he kept all of it. Like he didn't keep it in his bedroom in his nightstand because it was just too much of it. But they kept everything, and it still exists in Graceland now. And that's one thing that's kind of cool, is that if somebody gave him something that they made, handmade, whatever, no matter what it was, it meant more to him than something you can go to a jewelry store and buy.
I've seen. Oh, sorry.
It makes sense. It means it makes sense to me.
There was like last year. I think it was last year. There was a rock and roll history museum exhibit at the Holocaust Museum in St. Pete, and
that's a weird thing to have at a.
I know.
It's like the weird.
It's the Holocaust Museum. It's like the first 2 floors are Holocaust stuff, and then the 3rd floor is like a rotating exhibit.
It's like sad and depressing, horrible things that went on through human history. Hey, death metal.
But I saw some letters that some people wrote to Elvis, like asking him. They're like, "Can we please have tickets to your show for Christmas? I'm 7 years old," and like stuff like that.
That's
so
cute.
They're like behind glass.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, they saved everything. That's kind of that to me. That's impressive. Is that A, they saved stuff.
Yeah.
And B, that Elvis didn't read every letter, but every letter got read by either a secretary or his father.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually, one of the things that really struck me, and it's going off the topic, but on the tail of Elvis's plane was a lightning bolt, and it said TCB. TCB stood for?
But
taking care of business.
Okay.
Like he was very business minded. This is what I preach about the comedians here is being business minded. And his father ran the business of Elvis Presley, and they ran it so impeccably. It's amazing. It was very impressive to me.
You went to Graceland and saw that?
No, I've been to Graceland. Somewhere there is a picture of me standing at the gates. I do not remember being there. That was a time in my life when I was generally under the influence of a lot of marijuana and a lot of alcohol, maybe other things I cannot confirm nor deny. But all I know is there was a picture of me at the gates of Graceland, and I have never been there. I know. I wish I remembered it, though.
For shame.
I know. It's malarkey is what it is. Total straight up fucking malarkey. So somebody needs to come out with like no snickle fritzing, no lollygagging, no mollycoddling.
The graffiti that I saw today, one of them said no sniveling.
Ooh.
I don't know what sniveling is.
It's like being whiny kiss ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Let's look and see what the Merriam-Webster definition of sniveling. I believe it's something like that. Sniveling definition. The action of crying and sniffing in a feeble or fretful way. The sound of sniveling woke me. Crying and sniffing in a feeble or fretful way. Families with sniveling children. Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. Like something about that word makes me think of like medieval times, and somebody who's about to be executed by the king is like sniveling at the king's feet.
Stop sniveling before you get decapitated.
Stop sniveling, you wanker. You tosser.
Off to the gallows.
Gallows.
After the gallows.
Come on.
Okay, sorry.
So what other graffiti did you see? You said you saw some graffiti. What else did you see?
So I saw one that said, "Ladies, kindly do your soliciting discreetly."
This must have been in a bar and referring to the world's oldest profession.
Probably. There was
You don't want to say where it was?
no.
Okay.
There was a sticker, so it's technically not graffiti, but it was on the toilet, and it
Okay.
had a picture of Donald Trump, and it said, "Please pee on me."
Now I have at home, it's actually on my toolbox, and like actual box for tools, not any. This is not a euphemism for something dirty, you fucking pervert.
Hey, you said it, not me.
That's true, but you were thinking it. But no, I have it is a Hanoi Jane, so it's Jane Fonda. It's a picture of her. It's a restroom inspection award or restroom inspection certificate, and it's a urinal. You're supposed to put it in a urinal so you piss on Jane Fonda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or Hanoi Jane official urinal target or something like that.
I have these two. They kind of go together, though they were written separately.
Actually, before you get that said, that's made back during the Gulf War, back in the 90s. They sold a small set of paper boats, flushable paper boats, and it was the Iraqi Navy. And you float it on the toilet and sink them with poop.
Classy.
Trump is now a Florida man. Yes, he is.
Yes, he lives in West Palm now?
Yeah, like every other fucking New Yorker with money that gets old, they move to South Florida.
These two went together. Like I said, they weren't written next to each other, but I feel like they should have. They should have been. One said, "Live life fully. For a big dick, call 813-6 la la la."
Do you have the number?
Yes.
Oh.
And then it's in conjunction. It's always the right time to do what is right. Hashtag get that dick.
This had to have been in a ladies' room?
Yes, these are all ladies' room.
Nice.
And then the last one, which was ironically graffitied. "I'm always impressed by the number of women who have a Sharpie handy to write pretty life advice on the bathroom walls."
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was many, many, many other things, but those were the ones that I felt were worth noting.
The best graffiti I ever saw was in a bathroom, was on an air hand, the hand dryer.
Yeah.
And just the way it was patterned, it said "press for bacon," and it showed a finger pressing the button, and it had wavy lines that looked like bacon. Press button, receive bacon. That's what it said. What else you got? You got a bunch of shit written down.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
I have one more Florida man story, and I feel like every week a Florida man, at least one of my Florida man stories, has to do with an alligator.
Okay.
Florida man, 85-year-old Florida man bitten on the foot by an alligator in a retirement community.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't really count that as a Florida man story because, like, in a retirement community, they're not going to move very fast. They're old. It's God's waiting room. But so like, I could see that being like that's not like Florida man. Like, Florida man did a bunch of drugs and had sex with a cheeseburger. That's a Florida man story. Like, an old man gets bit by an alligator in a retirement community. It's just because he didn't move fast.
All right, I guess you're right.
So I'll cut that man some slack.
Okay. He was 85.
All right.
He's 85.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah. So, I mean, my other Florida man story had to do with the hamburger and the oral sex. And then last week's Florida man story had to do with somebody breaking into the alligator farm and because of drugs. So
I read a news story this past week, and it started off being a horrible story, but I couldn't help but laugh by the end of it. And it truly was a horrible story. This woman, it was a Pennsylvania woman. She murdered her two kids.
That's
like 4 and 8 or 6 and 8, really young kids. She hung them in the fucking basement, which is horrible. But then I read the entire article. So after she was arrested for that and they started, investigating, they ended up adding charges in because she fucked her dog.
This woman, she's not right. Seriously. Obviously, she's not right.
Shit.
I mean, Florida woman, she takes the cake. That's just terrible, though.
That was Pennsylvania woman.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's where you said that. So
fucking scumbag. So what else is happening?
I don't know. I don't have anything else.
I do have an announcement to make. And actually, that's what the text messages were involving. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my plans for the holidays have changed.
What?
And I will be in New York for Christmas and New Year's. I will be doing only one comedy show on Long Island. That will be the 27th of December. I had a brain fart. I forgot what month we were in. So the 27th, Friday night, I'll be doing a show at Barton's Place in Mount Sinai. But there's another piece to this that's beautiful. The first 10 people that come to the show and mention my name at the door will receive a custom, only 10 in actually, there's only 12 in existence, a custom shot glass. What? No.
Okay.
A custom shot glass. I'm going to be doing some merchandising stuff coming up in the next year. It's one of my plans is to have my own line of custom Roger Nelson comedy merchandise. And the first item that's being made, we're only making 12 of, and they will not be available for sale. I'm making 12. I'm keeping one for myself. I'm giving one to my sister who's helping me do this. She gets to keep one. If she doesn't want it, then I'll give it to somebody else. But the other 10, the first 10 people that come through the door and mention my name at Barton's Place on the 27th will receive a complimentary shot glass, custom Roger Nelson comedy shot glass. It has something on it. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's funny, and you'll appreciate it if you are one of my fans, and I love you. So that's my announcement.
I don't think everybody would appreciate it, but like you said, if they're one of your
If they're
fans,
there,
yeah,
if they're there to see me tell
they'll
slim
appreciate
jokes,
it.
they'll appreciate it. If
Yeah.
they don't appreciate it, then give it to somebody who will.
Because somebody will.
Because somebody will.
Somebody
should.
will.
Somebody should. It's funny. So this is the first bit of merchandise that I am doing, and not again. Oh, you know what that was?
Fire truck?
Nope.
What?
Ambulance. Because if it's an ambulance, you got a chance, but in a hearse, it's got to be worse.
If you're in a hearse, it's too late.
Yeah, it's true. So December 27th, Barton's Place, Mount Sinai, New York. Come to the show. I got some new material. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna have some drinks. I'm gonna get wasted. That's one of the places that I may or may not bring my own alcohol.
You could do the Evan Williams eggnog stuff.
Does it have alcohol in it?
Yeah.
The problem is, well, I'll talk to you off camera about, off the show about that.
Okay.
There's, bringing alcohol and giving away alcohol in a bar that you don't have approval to give alcohol away in is usually frowned upon.
Yeah, it's a little illegal. Just a little.
So you may get a free shot out of it since Nicole decided to open her mouth about this. You may get a free shot out of it, but you will get the shot glass, which they will happily fill for a fee. But the shot glass is free. So first 10 people to the door, mention my name. You got to just walk up to the door. You go to the doorman. I'm here for Roger Nelson. First 10, get a shot glass. And it's a nice glass. It's not none of plastic shit.
Fuck that shit.
We do it
Fuck
nice. We do the merch nice. I have a couple other merchandise ideas, but
merchandising. Nice merchandise.
Yeah, but it's funny stuff, useful stuff, thoughtful stuff.
I thought of you the other day because I saw a butt plug that had a fidget spinner on the end of it.
I have seen that as well. I don't know how well it would work because usually there are cheeks in the way.
I didn't think that far about it. I didn't
you gotta
invest
have
in
a
it.
wide asshole for that.
I didn't invest that much time into
I've
looking
also
at
seen
it.
a video where a woman had them on her nipples.
That would be painful, I feel like, because they're heavy for that.
Well, I don't think it was just hanging on the end of it. I think she used some sort of tape to stick it.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It was there securely and spinning on her wuzza. on her
Did you say wuzza?
Wuzza. What her norks. It was spinning on her norks.
Norks. I used that word exactly one time this week other than here.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to use it as much as I can.
I forgot about it until right now, but the next day I used it and I don't remember why.
I like it. I think it's a fantastic word. I think everybody should use the word norks in place of tits because tits is vulgar. Norks is just fucking funny, and it's Australian, and they say they can say cunt and make it classy.
Norks.
It's a good thing your mother's listening right now.
Why?
Because I would have just said something right there
about me
when
yawning.
You were yawning, yeah.
Because it looked like a blowjob. Well,
I would have said, what do you got? Blower's cramp. You snorted. What I'll do to my wife and my brothers, if they yawn in my presence, I'll get right up to them. I'll point in their mouth and be like, insert cock there. It's just funny when you're not expecting it. Usually kills the yawn.
I heard
Silly
yawns are
shit.
contagious, but I think that's a lie.
No, they are. I'm fighting it.
Do you think that you can not yawn?
I can if I really will it. But the more you think about it, the more you want to. Like there are people listening. If we have 5 live listeners at this moment right now, and guaranteed at least half of them are yawning.
I'm trying not to. I've got to close my eyes and pretend I'm not hearing you.
Guaranteed you're going to yawn. Now, one thing I've taught people that if you think you're being watched by someone, and it works great in bars, 2 things to do in a bar. 1 is yawn. 2, look at your watch. If you're not wearing a watch, just look at your wrist as if you're looking at a watch.
Why?
Because the person that you think is watching you will either yawn or look at their watch.
Do you do both? You like yawn and then like look at your watch, and
You could do both.
Kind of
just to
just
hedge
like
your
look
bets.
around.
But if you look at your watch, if I look at the time, you're going to want to know what time it is. It's just it's some sort of an instinct. And the worst is when you look at your watch to look at the time, and then you move on with your day. But right as soon as you're done looking at your watch, somebody says, "Hey, what time is it?" And you don't remember, and you have to look again. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
They notice you looking at your watch, and they want to know what time it is, but you don't remember.
That's because when I usually am looking at the time, it's because I have to like be somewhere at a certain time.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I'm like, okay, I have 20 minutes before I have to blah, 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 blah.
Your mom says psychopaths don't yawn when they see someone yawn. That's probably true, but they also probably do a whole lot of shit that don't make sense. Kita says, fun fact, a psychopath does not have those tendencies because of their lack of empathy.
They basically said the same thing almost at the same time. That's weird.
I heard that on an NPR podcast once. Interesting.
I hope one day we'll be as popular as NPR.
Probably not. But it's good to dream. A boy can dream. A girl can dream.
We can start like talking in really smooth monotone voice and play smooth jazz in the background.
But it's like we'll say dirty shit in that smooth monotone. So like,
that's fine.
Today we're talking about co-ed naked fisting.
Co-ed?
You are with me. Co-ed. Because,
you are with me.
Yeah. They're like, Wait. Is that Akita Kalzumi?
Yeah.
Who is that? Do you know that?
I don't know that person.
Okay. I didn't know if that was somebody that was actually with your mother.
No.
Like with mentally or physically.
No, I don't know who that person is.
Well, hi.
Although I did look at that person's YouTube recently, and
you know me.
Who knows you?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows you? I don't know you by that name. Oh, it's Lilibel. Oh shit.
Why with a name?
Because she's got fanciness.
I was gonna say, okay, so recently I had looked at this person's YouTube channel, and I was like, wow, they have a lot of like burlesque inspiration.
Oh.
And then now that I see it's Lilibel, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I didn't know her by her non-English name / lack of contact icon. So
seriously, how are we supposed to know? I don't know.
Hey, Lilibel, how are you?
Hi.
Sorry
that you're listening.
Sorry, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah, like I feel bad now.
Yeah, seriously.
She's so nice.
No, but they are not in physical presence together.
Okay.
I kind of liked being incognito. Oh, sorry. Okay, we don't know who you are then. I take it back.
You could have messaged us. Yeah. Then go back. See if you can delete those comments. Pretend we don't know you.
I don't know you. I want to make the 12 days of Christmas, but as a barista.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me an infection that burns when I pee.
No, that's the Fubar fucked up Christmas.
I know.
The Fubar.
On the first day of Christmas, my barista gave to me. I don't know what the fuck a barista does. So is that a lawyer in England?
We make coffee.
That's my weeb name.
We make coffee.
You gotta make the syllables match.
Well,
a partridge in a pear tree.
Da 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 da, and then da 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 da. Sorry, I'm thinking about the words that.
A double shot of iced Kai tea.
Chai.
Chai, whatever. Fucking whatever.
Okay. All right. An iced chai.
A gray Kai tea. Chai tea.
A great chai tea.
A
A great chai
yeah,
tea.
Yeah, you need more. You need some more in there.
A great chai tea. A double tall chai tea. There we go. On the second day.
Tall is small.
On the second day of Christmas, my barista gave to me.
Made for me.
Made for me.
Because they're not going to give it to you. You got to pay for that
Two
shit.
cinnamon scones.
Scones.
2 cinnamon scones. And a double tall chai tea.
You definitely need more syllables in there.
Yes, I need more syllables. I need all the syllables.
So write it out.
Okay.
And then I'll help you record it.
Okay.
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 Okay. But I'm gonna need people from work singing it with me too.
Okay.
So
set it up. We'll do it.
Okay.
We'll 100% do it. But
okay. So I made a group chat with all the people I work with, and it was literally just to share a meme. And then I was reprimanded, not like seriously, but I was like loosely reprimanded. They're like, you're not allowed to fraternize with your management team.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, it was after a particularly long day at the store. And it was just this meme that's like, it had this like emoji with the crazy wide eyes. And it was like when everything goes wrong, but you're trying to stay positive or something like that. And I was like, it was in no way inappropriate. It wasn't even like.
Yeah, but.
I was like, okay. So I removed the management staff from that group chat.
There you go. There you go. Fuck the managers.
I was like, okay, fine. You don't want to be in the group chat? Cool. I'm
That
just
works.
going to keep it with everybody else who appreciates my jokes and stupid memes. So
that's fucking hilarious. Get reprimanded. I have one of my employees watches this show. I mean, good.
Oh, I mean, like for the most part. Oh, did you see my thing on Instagram? This beautiful, precious baby?
That's cute.
My mom said she'd get me the book. It's a whole book of crappy taxidermy.
Nice.
I'm so excited for it. There's like a cow with.
Was it done by Chuck Testa?
It's just a collection of works. It's just a collection of works. That one is by.
Nope, Chuck Testa.
Somebody, I don't know. It just said spotted in London in the United Kingdom, and the title of this piece is called Victorian Ceiling Fan.
Okay. The guy I used to work with, his husband made things out of bones. Like I gotta ask, I gotta like make you guys connect somehow. But he like made end tables and shit out of bones.
That's amazing.
Yeah, well, his husband's an artist, so he like made all this crazy shit.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're also I'm just going through the memes from this week.
Okay.
This is crafting with cat hair. This is a book we sell.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's fucking gross.
It is a little gross.
I'm getting itchy just thinking about that. I like how you're using the desk titties as a
as a
prop for your as an easel.
This one says, I want buns of steel, but I also want buns of cinnamon.
It's true. Holy shit, my kids did one of those like fucking school fundraisers where you buy cheesecake and shit. Like back when I was in school, it was like wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Now they're like selling cookie dough but it's not even like a small thing. It was like I had to buy 4 pounds of fucking cookie dough. Yeah, seriously. I
used to sell magazines and wrapping paper and like little tins of flavored popcorn.
See, exactly. This is like they're selling frozen foods. One of the things my daughter did a fundraiser, and one of the things that they sold, which we got, was Oreo churros. So it's like a chocolate churro with the creamy filling.
Ooh.
And you bake them. And then after you bake them, they have like a sugary Oreo crumb mix that you put on the outside of it. Holy shit, they were good.
That sounds really good.
Diabetes.
I like Oreo flavored things better than I like actual Oreos.
Really?
Yeah, like I like Oreo cheesecake, and like we had these things at work that were like Oreo torts. They were like a
scone.
No,
like an Oreo scone.
No, it was like it was like a mousse, but it was like with Oreo, and I like cookies and cream ice cream, and I like all that stuff, but I don't like regular Oreos that much.
Crazy. You know, one of my favorite things is, and it's not quite Oreo, but Carvel ice cream cake has the cookie crunchies.
Yeah.
In between the two layers. It's not Oreo. It's Hydrox.
Isn't that like a British treat?
No, Hydrox cookies were actually what Oreo copied. Hydrox was around beforehand.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But Oreo cookies are like a dark chocolate
Mhm.
cookie. This was more of a milk chocolate cookie. But the Hydrox holds up to the ice cream better than the Oreo does. The Oreo will get a little mushy. Hydrox stays crunchy.
I like mushy Oreos.
So do I. But with the cake, you want the crunch. They don't make Hydrox cookies anymore. But the company that made Hydrox still makes just the cookie part, the chocolate cookie part, to make the cookie crumbles for Carvel.
Go good for them. They didn't go completely out of business. So
I didn't eat an Oreo until I was with my wife. So I was born in 1978. I did not eat an Oreo until 2000, till the year 2000.
wow.
My father loved Hydrox cookies. So we had Hydrox at home.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not like you didn't eat an Oreo or
Yeah.
a sandwich cookie.
Yeah.
You ate like wait, are Hydrox cookies like sandwich cookies, or is it just the cracker part?
No, it's exactly like an Oreo, but it's different recipe.
Okay.
So it's two chocolate cookies with the cream in the middle. But yeah, like my parents, like growing up, we had like cereal options. It was Cheerios, occasionally Honey Nut Cheerios, but Cheerios, Rice Krispies, and Frosted Flakes. Those are the only 3 cereals we ever had.
Okay.
Like I didn't have any other cereals until I moved out. Like I never just never had them. So like they were things like my parents would buy, and those were the only brands they would buy. They wouldn't try anything else.
I didn't have cereal that much growing up, but when we did, it was like a treat. So,
well, that's why you're skinny and we're fat. Okay.
we had
anything that shape shouldn't have filling.
What?
I think the churro. I think that's what she's talking about. The churro shouldn't have filling. Is that what you're getting at?
Cowtail candies, the caramel with the cream in the middle, so good.
Yes,
Yes.
they are. Oh, you know what I learned?
What?
The cinnamon twists from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Do you know what they are? Like how they get them?
Probably.
It starts out like rotini pasta.
Okay.
And they basically puff it.
Is it pasta?
It's pretty much pasta.
So it's like puffed rice, but puffed pasta.
Puffed pasta, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, they make it with so the dough gets airy.
That make
when it fries, it bubbles up, but it looks like rotini pasta before they cook it. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like rotini pasta. Yeah, your mom says yeah. I gotta be honest with you. That long black thing with the with the creamy filling in the middle was very delicious and satisfying.
That's what she said.
Yes, it is. Because she liked the BBC. I'm not talking about the television network.
British Broadcasting Channel.
Funny fact about the BBC. The BBC is government owned. It's owned by they have to issue a television light. If you have a television that can receive a signal from an outside source, not just playing a DVD, but if it can receive a signal from outside, you have to buy a BBC television license.
Like a FCC license?
No. Well, the FCC is American. The BBC is in Britain. So if you're in England...
So you have to buy a license to receive broadcast?
To receive broadcast.
Why?
Because that's the law there. But it's actually not even a law because they really can't enforce it as much as they try to. You're not allowed... You don't have to let them in your house. You could basically just keep telling them to fucking piss off, and they have to.
Oh.
It's so fucking weird. Look into it. It's crazy.
If I ever live there, I'm not buying a broadcasting license. I'm not buying a license for something that you're giving out for free.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Well, that's why we essentially we didn't fully cut the cord at home, but like the live television, we get over that. We have a the Fire TV, and I can get pulling signal off of that. So I stopped paying for cable. I pay for internet.
Good.
And I watch cat videos on YouTube. I used to make Coley egg middle and green eggs and ham. What is egg middle?
I think the Americans call it Moon or Miami. It's whatever that breakfast food is where you take the bread and you make a hole in the bread and then you fry the egg in the middle of the bread.
We call that
what?
Egg in the bread.
Egg middle.
Yeah.
I called it egg in the middle.
Egg in the middle.
So egg bread.
Green eggs and ham, that's cute. And French toast, which she helped me make.
Yeah. I didn't like to eat breakfast as a kid, so my mom made me green eggs and
Toad
ham.
in the hole. That's another one. One-eyed Jack. That's the other one. One-eyed Jack.
Oh, of that
Yeah, same
breakfast
thing.
food.
But I think a one-eyed Jack was the egg in the bread. You know, make the hole in the bread, you put the egg in, but then they put a slice of cheese on top.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Like I'm thinking now, like I want egg in the bread now.
I have bread and egg at home. I'm going to make that for dinner.
Yeah.
I like breakfast foods for dinner. Yeah, I didn't like eating breakfast, so my mom made me bring green eggs and ham because I liked reading.
That is so cute.
So she would just put like 1 drop of blue
Food coloring
to make it green eggs. Yeah.
Cute. I'm not big on, but like I like breakfast foods. My favorite thing in the world is an egg sandwich. But like at home, like I don't eat breakfast. And like when I do eat breakfast, I don't eat breakfast foods most of the time. Like I'll eat in the morning every day, but usually it's leftover dinner from last night or.
I'm the opposite. I eat breakfast foods at home fairly exclusively any time of day.
Well, yeah. But, you know, I don't, you know, to me, you know, as long as you eat something in the morning, it doesn't have to be a quote unquote breakfast food.
I agree with that.
Like I've eaten fucking ravioli for breakfast.
I like ravioli.
Me too.
Little pillows of happiness.
My wife on Saturday, no, Friday, no, Saturday, either Friday or Saturday. No, I'm sorry, it was Friday. It was definitely Friday. I swear it was Friday. She made, because she was home. She made mushroom and cheese ravioli in a mushroom cream sauce. And it was ridiculous.
Sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
Sounds lovely.
It was amazing.
I'm going to try that yawning thing next time I'm out in public.
I see, you know, Akita says she loves breakfast food. I love breakfast food too. But to me, I don't have to eat it at breakfast. Like anytime. Like I'll go to IHOP and I'll have an omelet at, you know, in the middle of the day or at night or, you know, I love breakfast foods, but I don't necessarily have to eat them only for breakfast. And I actually probably eat breakfast foods more often, not in the morning.
There's a reason why places like Village Inn, IHOP, Denny's, whatever, is open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because we're not the only people.
Pancakes.
Who sat there and said eggs are only for 11 a.m. or earlier?
Hell no. And that's one thing I'm actually looking forward to going to New York for Christmas for are the diners.
Yeah.
You know, the New York diners where you can go in there and you can get, you know, any kind of breakfast food and like a million other different things. You know, and it's crazy. Like you go to a New York diner for lunch, and this one's getting breakfast. This one's got chicken parm, and this one's got souvlaki, and you know I'm sitting there munching on a knish.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just funny because everybody orders a different
things,
way. Yeah, and I mean, you know, diners in New York literally have hundreds of options. Some of them good, some of them bad.
You ever eaten a garbage plate that you enjoyed particularly?
I don't think I've ever ordered a garbage plate. So what would you define a garbage plate as?
It just got like a bunch of stuff. Like it's got baked beans and macaroni and cheese, and it's got like salad on the side, and it's got this and it's got that, and it's got like a bunch of stuff mixed together.
I've gotten some appetizer samplers. Is that close?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I've eaten like weird combinations. Actually, one of the fondest memories of my kids being young, we had gone to Denny's for breakfast, and I won't go to Denny's anymore. There's a whole long story, but we had gone to Denny's for breakfast, and I think it was like a late breakfast, and my daughter got like pancakes, mashed potatoes and gravy, and a quesadilla. Like, because with the kids thing, you can like choose, you know, 3 things off the menu, whatever it is, and that's what she had. She had pancakes, mashed potatoes and gravy, and a quesadilla.
The official definition of a garbage plate is, according to a 2010 archive of the restaurant's official website, starts with the base of any combination of home fries, macaroni, salad, baked beans, French fries, topped by your choice of meats, dressed into your liking with spicy mustard, chopped onions, and your signature hot sauce.
Okay. That's not that's not something I've encountered, or that's not even necessarily something I would order. I mean, depending on where it is, if that's like the place's specialty as a garbage plate, I'd probably order it. None of those things don't sound appealing to me. You know, I'll eat all that stuff. Oh, it's a bunch of slop on a plate. It's a garbage plate.
I like it.
You know, I have there are specific diners I'll go to while I'm in New York, and typically, you know, one of the things they make, which I love, is I think they call it the breakfast stack, and this is at the Heritage Diner in Mount Sinai, and it's pancakes layered with things. So like you got a pancake and bacon, then a pancake and like eggs and a pancake and sausage and a pancake and home fry, like all stacked up together. So I guess that'd be kind of like a garbage plate, but
It's like a breakfast
bound
garbage
together.
plate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bound together by pancakes.
I really like pancakes, but I can't eat that many of them. I wish I could. I wish I could eat like 17 pancakes in a sitting, but I can only get like 1.5 down.
Just so you know, Steak and Shake does all you can eat pancakes on Sunday mornings.
For how much?
I don't know, it's cheap. It's fucking Steak and Shake.
Yeah, it
Fucking
can't be
shit's
more
cheap,
than.
yeah.
Excuse me.
She got the hicker uppers. But yeah, I mean, dining. I mean, I'll get that. Get something like that for breakfast. The one thing I've been digging lately from this place called Seaport, the Seaport Diner, not the Seaport Deli, is a pizza burger. It's a burger with tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese on an English muffin, which is strange, but it's just so good, so good.
Do you like cheeseburger pizza?
Yeah. I mean, it's not something I would order while I'm in New York, but I dig it.
I like breakfast pizza. I had it for the first time not too long ago.
Nice.
With like scrambled eggs and sausage or whatever on it.
Yeah. It's kind of like a frittata, but on dough.
I like frittatas.
Frittata.
Frittata matata.
Vagina dentata. Means don't put anything in there.
Chomp, 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 chomp. I saw this thing that was like, guys are freaked out by vaginas with teeth, but also they like blowjobs.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I saw the movie Teeth, so I got, there's reason for concern. If she's tighten on. I love an egg on my hamburger. Yes.
My ideal
Yes.
burger has avocado and egg on it.
I'll pass on the avocado.
Okay, I'll take guacamole spread at best.
Okay, I'll take some guac.
Okay.
That's the only way I can eat an avocado.
Okay.
Otherwise, the color and texture just.
I want a burger so messy that I have to eat it with a fork and a knife and then scoop the egg pieces up with the rest of my bun.
Nice.
Yeah, like that's something
Yeah.
I fuck with.
An egg on a hamburger is freaking delicious.
Heck yeah.
Hell
Heck
yeah.
Just don't get it from Smoky Bones because them bitches will overcook that shit and you'll get a sad little poached egg on top of your.
I would not order a hamburger at a barbecue joint. Sorry.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll order barbecue at a barbecue joint. Speaking of barbecue joint, I went to Mission Barbecue. I tried one of those out. It's a chain of them.
Yeah.
Very U.S. veteran supporting organization, and the food was really good. Finally got to try it.
Never tried. But
It's good.
Try.
It's good. They have a bunch of locations. I went to the Brandon location, and it was very good. They do a cafeteria. Jesus Christ, I can hear every motion.
Sorry.
They do it like cafeteria style. So you go up to the counter, you order, you go find a table, and they yell out your name.
Okay.
But the food was really good.
I didn't know that.
And really good prices.
I've never been inside there like that.
Yeah, and it's cool. Cool decorations. They got patches from all different army units, law enforcement, first responders, all over the place. Really cool. I like that stuff.
Sweet.
Makes me happy. I love Mission Barbecue. Yes. Yes.
Do you own a Santa hat?
Sorry, you were saying?
I wanted to know if I could customize your hat this year by putting like whatever kind of pins and patches on it or something.
Let me see. Take my ears off. Yeah, I mean it's a little tight, but
it kind of looks like a sailor hat on you. But it looks like a sailor hat, but with like a thing coming out of it.
In the Navy.
All right.
So I probably need a bigger one. Huh?
You have one.
I almost bought one when we were at SeaWorld. I almost bought one. It was a black. I have a black stocking that's got Ozzy's signature on it.
Really? Like a real real signature?
Not his real signature. I have the album, not Osmosis. He came out with a box set right after Osmosis, and I actually met him and he signed it. But no, they had a Shamu. It was like a Shamu themed hat, but it was a black Santa hat.
That's cool.
I was like, I should get that. But then I didn't because I'm cheap.
Shamu.
So yeah, I think do you think it's too small to decorate?
I could decorate it. I was just gonna put stuff on it and write your name on it and
There you
stuff.
go.
Thank you.
There you go. Bring it back next week.
Okay, I will.
And I'll wear it on the plane.
Yeah.
Just don't put I like to blow shit up on it because that would like be frowned upon.
I'll just write I like to blow and then in small stuff something else. So, no, I'm kidding. I won't do that. Can I write your name on it though?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if you were one of those people who's like, I don't want people knowing my name. No photos of celebrity. No paparazzi, please.
I think I have a T-shirt somewhere that says, "Yeah, I'm famous. No, you can't have an autograph." But like I have it from before, way before I was doing comedy. I think my wife got it for me when, and it really doesn't happen much anymore. But when we were living in New York, we would go somewhere like out of state, and I would run into somebody I know, like all the time. I would run into fucking people I know. I mean, it happened. We were in Disney, I think, last year, and I hear somebody yelling. And I could tell they were running towards me and yelling my name. I turn around. It's a guy I worked with in New York.
In Disney?
No, he was at Disney.
Of all the places.
Yeah, he didn't know I was there. I didn't know he was there. We just ran into each other.
That's cool.
But yeah, anywhere we went, we'd run into fucking people.
It happens to me a lot where I'll meet somebody and then we're both like, I know you from somewhere. And we're like, I know you from somewhere. And we neither of us can figure out from where.
No, this is, they know who I am. They know me by name.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like, it always freaked her out because like we'd go to Virginia, on vacation and like run into people I knew.
I've met 2 people who knew me, but I didn't know them.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Where do I know you from? I know you. Where do I know you? Well, they'll be like, oh, I saw you. I've actually been recognized for comedy, which really is weird. Like, yeah, we were there to see so-and-so and you were on the show. You were really good. Or you suck. I mean, I've been told both. I'm good with that. It's cool. Tell me I suck. Would you stop slapping the titties around?
So can I squish
Mom, she's slapping my titties. It's gonna pop one of these days. It's gonna
Hopefully
make it. And you're gonna have fucking. Oh no, no. And you're gonna have that fucking China water all over you. You're gonna get some kind of like fucking
disease,
feng shui disease. Speaking of which, people, if you see that email come to you that say, "Ooh, this December has 5 Sundays and 5 Saturdays, and it's based on the Japanese. It's called money bags. It's an ancient Chinese thing, and it only happens once in your lifetime." People keep sharing the shit. It's like, no, it's not. Actually, the last time December had 5 Sundays and 5 Saturdays was like 2012, and it's going to happen again in 2029.
Wait, but
that was last year.
It doesn't have 5 Saturdays this year.
Check last year.
I'll say this year it has 5 Sundays, but only 4 Saturdays.
Yeah. It happens several times. Months with 31 days. It happens when the first happens
1, 2,
on a Friday.
3, 4, 5. Yes.
Or
1,
Saturday.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So last year it had 5 and 5. Not this year though.
Yeah, but they were sharing it this year, not even looking at the fucking calendar.
I love the one that says this year is the first year in 666 years that Halloween falls on Friday the 13th.
People will share it and believe it.
Yeah. Like, guys.
What's the date of Halloween this year?
Same as it is every year.
It's like, what date is Valentine's Day on this year?
The same as it is every single year.
Uh-huh.
What day is your birthday?
Same as it is every year.
Oh, I went too far. I don't know where I am now. I'm in June of 2020.
Same as it is every year, and it's the day after Hitler's. And now they have to Google when Hitler's birthday is.
420.
I know.
So.
I know you know. It's the day after Terry McNeely's birthday. Exactly.
Who's Terry McNeely?
He's a comedian.
Do I know them?
No.
Oh, okay.
He, I think the last time he was down here was like last March. He did a show at Snappers.
Gotcha.
I'm tired. You tired? You are tired.
I am tired.
We may cut the show short this week.
I'm gonna see if I can find you more Destinies.
I am excited about next week's guest. Can we announce it?
Yeah, go for it.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
What?
Letting the days go by, let the water go.
Should I just search for boobs on Wish?
Yeah, you could do that.
See what comes up.
Wish boobs.
Oh, look, it's like the first thing I think. These don't look as squishy though. These look much smaller.
Can Coley do a movie review? Have you seen any movies lately?
Yeah, I saw the Mr. Rogers movie, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
How was it? Don't spoil anything. I don't want to know how it ends.
Have you been watching? He didn't die in the movie.
I know.
He does die eventually, but he didn't die in the movie. He actually wasn't even born in the movie. He didn't do anything except for live about a year and a half of his life in the 80s in the movie, because that was not a biographical film. It was about his relationship with one writer from Philadelphia.
Yep.
I didn't like it. It was creepy and trippy.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Why didn't you not? Why did you not like it?
Because like I said, I was expecting a biographical film, which it was not, which is okay. I didn't like the fact that it focused a lot on this writer and not on Mr. Rogers. I didn't like the fact that whoever directed the movie kind of they took a little bit of creative liberties with how the show is done. They took a little bit of creative liberty with the movie. Like the movie opens up with what you think you're watching a show, a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood show, and then he like opens like one of his like windows, and he's got this guy who's got a real beat up face, and you're like, wow, this is not the vibe of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And then we learn about this character and why he's involved and whatever. And so the whole movie is basically about anger management. We'll talk about that. Like it's about anger management and forgiveness. It's a lot about forgiveness and how he has a bad relationship with his father and how, you know, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And have you seen Marie Williams' comment on Facebook about it?
No.
Because we were discussing it. And so there's this dream sequence where he like wakes up in imagination land as his old
Mr. Rogers does.
No, the writer.
Okay.
Whose name I can't remember in the movie now. But he wakes up in imagination land and he's his old stuffed animal. And he's like, they're like, I don't know. It was very weird. It was very like, there's parts of it that were very trippy. They were kind of like,
how was Tom Hanks' portrayal of Fred Rogers?
I don't know. I obviously don't know how Fred Rogers was. I don't know how he was personally. They made it seem, they kind of implied that that Fred Rogers had like his own anger management issues in real life, which he also said that Tom Hanks's character, Fred Rogers, in the movie said that he didn't always have a good relationship with his sons, and they didn't really elaborate on any of that.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, I didn't care for it.
Okay.
It was very dark. It was kind of twisted.
You weren't a fan of Mr. Rogers. You didn't
I loved Mr. Rogers, like actual Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
So,
you know, one thing that really has always stuck with me, well, at least not always stuck. It stuck with me ever since I saw it. But you know, say what you will about people who are super religious, and you know, Fred Rogers has always come off as just a good person. And watching him testify before Congress, I forget what year it was, and he was trying to get more funding for public television, and specifically to get funding for his show. And you know, they wanted to increase the PBS budget, and he testified before Congress, and he basically got these congressmen to you know, not only give him the money that he was looking for, they gave him more than he was looking for, because he made such a good argument. Just listening to him be so passionate about what he was doing and why he was doing it, and you know, the psychology of children and how children, you know, their mind, their brains work differently, and he understood children.
Do you remember? Okay, so I can't think of another movie that has done this, but when there's movies that kind of have artistic liberties and they have their own interpretation of actual things that happened, sometimes they'll insert
any you know, biopic is going to do that for the sake of storytelling. I mean, for example, in Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic, you know, the way things were told was a bit out of order. He didn't know he had AIDS when he performed at Live Aid. You know, he wasn't even sick at that point.
But in that movie, did they insert any actual clips
of the performance? Yes.
Okay, so I was expecting that a little bit.
Well, the video wise, no. The singing was. Some of the singing was Freddie Mercury. Some of the singing was a double, and some of the singing was Rami Malek. Okay,
well, I've seen some other like historical movies where they insert actual footage of the event, whatever the event was.
Well, JFK.
Yes,
was technically a biopic, and they inserted the Zapruder film.
Okay, so there's stuff like that. I was kind of hoping that they would do something like that with this Fred Rogers movie. They didn't at all.
I wouldn't have expected that, mainly because you had an actor like Tom. I think Tom Hanks is a great actor. I think he's so good at what he does that he's believable in the role. He played Walt Disney in shit, what the hell? The one about the making of Mary Poppins. Shit, what the hell was the name of it? Saving Mr. Banks was the name of the film. And he played Walt Disney. And when you get somebody that's, like a Fred Rogers, who everybody knows who Mr. Rogers is, whether you liked Mr. Rogers, whether you grew up watching his show, everyone knows who Fred Rogers was. Everyone knows who Walt Disney is. Everybody has seen him on film, whether you were alive when he was alive or you've seen reruns. You've seen, reruns of The Wonderful World of Disney. You've seen him making the speech at the dedication of Disneyland. You know what he sounded like. You know what he looked like. You know how he moved. And to play somebody that's so well known and make it believable, you knew you weren't looking at Walt Disney, but you were looking at a very goddamn good actor playing a very damn good version of, Walt Disney.
That's the other thing too, is that Tom Hanks made Mr. Rogers seem very old in the movie. And I know he was an old man, but he was, from every time I ever saw Fred Rogers on TV, whether it was from his show or interviews or anything like that, even in his old age, he seemed very lively. And there was parts where Tom Hanks is literally crouching over, walking like an old man. And I'm like, I don't think anybody.
Well, you don't know if Fred Rogers was like that in real life. I mean, what you saw on camera,
right?
May have been him perked up and playing the role, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
One of the things that was cool from what I understood about the production is they actually shot the soundstage they used for the set of the show was the actual set of the actual show.
That's totally believable because they did really good on that.
No,
those
set pieces were Mr. Rogers set pieces. They filmed it on location in the studio in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So that's no bullshit. That was actual set pieces in the actual studio that they actually filmed Mr. Rogers' show in.
Okay.
So that's real. To try and connect, because I saw an interview. Tom Hanks was not a fan of Mr. Rogers. Was not a fan of the show. When the show came out, Tom Hanks was on the older side. He was, I think, 12 or 13. The show was targeted more to that preschool 7, 8, age, preschool, young elementary school. So he was older. He didn't get it. In his words, he saw Mate doing the puppets, but you knew it was Mr. Rogers doing the puppets. The puppets' mouths didn't move. So he wasn't really a fan of the show. And to try and connect him to the spirit of Fred Rogers, Mrs. Rogers, who's still alive, Fred's wife, gave him Fred's ties.
Okay.
So the ties that Tom Hanks is wearing in the show are Fred Rogers ties, are his actual, possessions that he wore in day-to-day life and on the show. So there was a lot of real things used. And I want to see it because I'm a fan of Mr. Rogers. I grew up on him. I grew up watching the show when I was a kid and just seeing all the good things he's done. Watching his, I forget what award he won. And, he goes up there and talks about how he loves each and every one of you and each and every one of you are special. And he did a moment of silence for anybody who couldn't be there, whether they couldn't be there because they're somewhere else or couldn't be there because they're no longer with us. And he did this several times at several receiving awards. And, the way he put other people in such a high regard, people he didn't know. One of the things that Fred Rogers did with his show was the black policeman. The policeman on the show was a black man. Not only that, but the actor who played him was gay. Now, Fred Rogers was a Christian minister. Hired a gay black actor to play a role. That was, back in the day, that was ridiculously controversial. And I watched an interview with that gentleman. I can't remember his name. He said that Fred knew he was gay and told him basically to stay in the closet because he didn't want to piss off, the fan base, the Christian fan base, which the guy did. And he doesn't regret doing it because he knew baby steps. Him, a black man playing a police officer on a children's show was a huge leap.
Right.
And to bring him being gay into the fold would just blow people's heads would fucking explode. But Mr. Rogers, he said, Fred took him in as almost a son. It was treated him like a son, treated him with love. And he still thinks very highly of Mr. Rogers, even though he asked him to, hide who he was in real life.
Yeah.
He still holds him in such a high regard. So to have that, that's a special kind of person that can ask somebody to do that and still have the respect of that person and be thought so highly of. So I want to see it. I wasn't expecting a full, true life documentary. I knew it was a story about a specific thing that really occurred,
Mhm.
but I knew it wasn't a biographical sketch of his whole life or his whole career. But I do still have respect for Fred.
Yeah, I have respect for Fred, just not Tom Hanks.
You don't like Tom Hanks?
I don't hate Tom Hanks.
How do you
I just
not
think
like
he's
Tom Hanks?
overrated.
How do you think he's overrated?
Forrest Gump wasn't that good.
Actually, it was really good.
It was okay.
No, Forrest Gump, if you watch it several times, the more I watch Forrest Gump, the more I love the story.
Jenny's a bitch.
Oh, Jenny's a fucking complete bitch. Okay, Jenny, I'll cut the grass and raise the AIDS, baby. He, and what's funny is if you read the book, Forrest Gump was a book.
Okay.
Read the book, you'll hate the character. He was a fucking asshole in the book.
Forrest Gump was?
Maddie!
Hello.
Checking in a little on the later side. What's going on from the land down under? He was, Forrest Gump was a fucking asshole in the book.
He kind of seems like an asshole in person. I mean, not in person in the movie. The only reason they didn't think so is because he's like borderline autistic.
Well, in the book he was, but in the book he was actually a bad person. Like, he wasn't a bad person in the movie. I don't see him being a bad person.
Kind of an asshole.
How so?
I don't know. Why'd you keep running? I just wanted to. Fuck
That
you.
doesn't make him an asshole. He was a little. He's Gump. He's Gump. He's a little slow. The parody of the Presidents of the USA song.
I don't know that song.
You ever the song Lump? She's
No.
lump. She's lump. She's in my head. No, it's from
That
the 90s.
sounds familiar though.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe if I heard
Lump sat alone in a boggy marsh, totally motionless except for her heart.
that sounds familiar, but I don't know that song.
Okay.
Like if I heard it,
So,
I probably
I think
remember
Weird Al
it.
did a parody. He's Gump. He was slow. He was not. He was autistic. Mentally retarded, whatever you want to call it. He was a little slow. So for him to be running, but you have to read into what and I did a study of this movie. I took a film class and that was one of the movies we studied. And there was deeper meaning than him just running. If you watch it, it was almost him like a Jesus-like figure where he's just running, he's wandering in the desert, and then all these people are following him. And then he stops and they're expecting these brilliant words. They're expecting some words of wisdom. And then he just says, I think I'm going to go home.
Did
And
he
that was
walk
it.
home?
Yeah, he walked home. Or he
Okay.
ran home. I don't know what he did. They didn't show that.
Okay.
I mean, what I love about that movie is how they cut him into so many historical events.
Right.
And that was obviously, so far-fetched from being reality, but it was cool the way they did it. With the I guess the original version of a deep fake where they have, President Johnson and President Kennedy, talking. That was kind of cool. And actually, John Lennon, he gives Lennon the inspiration for the song Imagine. All these things that he plays into history, too. It's a good movie. I like Tom Hanks, so kiss my black ass. Okay.
Why is it black? He forgot to wipe.
No. I tan a lot. I'm a bum.
They have this thing now that's like a weird, creepy looking mask that women put on their face while they're tanning. And instead of them doing makeup, it like tans their contour in.
Right.
It looks like a very creepy mask because it literally looks like it covers your eyes, but then it kind of like comes down this way. Some eyes wide shut shit.
Women want a real man, yet I can remove most of your realness with a fucking napkin. I'm not a big fan of a lot of makeup.
I'm not wearing anything fake on my body today that like indicates that I'm not really me. Like not fake hair or whatever.
Usually when you come in here, you're you.
Yeah. Yeah. Occasionally I'll have a little bit of makeup on, but
yeah, a little bit of makeup's fine, and makeup when you're on stage and performing is another thing. But seeing some of these people, it's just fucking put on with a spackle knife all the time.
oh yeah, the fake hair, the fake lashes, the fake lips, the fake boobs, the fake booty, the fake
There's
waist.
this girl, and I don't mean to pick on a kid, but she's a senior in high school, so she's fair game. Then this girl that goes to my son's school. She has the fake eyelashes on, but they're so ridiculously long. Like, I want to slap them off her face. Like, she walks out and you can see leaves blow when she blinks. They're fucking exactly.
She's
They
gonna
just
fly away.
But it looks so ridiculous, and she probably thinks she looks like hot shit. And it's the wrong length and the wrong color. It's just wrong for her. Not that I'm the fashion police.
Listen, when I was 17/18, I had bad fashion sense too.
I had bad fashion sense back then, and I still do.
I think my fashion sense has actually I don't think I had bad fashion sense. I think I'm more aware of how to dress for what's more appropriate for my body and my environment and things like that.
The only difference between when I was in high school till now is now I'm more likely to tuck my shirt in. But jeans and t-shirts, and it was always like I was very specific. I wore blue jeans and plain solid colored t-shirts. I don't like shirts with logos on them and shit like that. All my shirts are all solid colors and usually darker colors. I dress the same now pretty much as I did 20 years ago. I look like an old man.
I think my style has evolved but not changed.
Yeah,
I still dress like a weirdo.
I don't think you. I don't think you look like a weirdo.
I'm wearing purple pants and a jacket that has pins all over it.
So,
okay.
It's not, to me, that's not weird.
Okay. I got
it's like not weird at all.
I was a little self-conscious today because I was dressed I was cold today because it was cooler today. So I had like a jacket and I had a hat and I had, and when you put all those things together, I look pretty weird because all of my things have like weird stuff on them. During the summer, I'll have like a hat, but I'll be wearing like plain jeans and a t-shirt or something. But today
I had to wear a paper medical exam gown today.
Your booty was sticking out.
I still wear my drawers though.
Your booty was not sticking out.
I'm glad I didn't wear my church drawers. They're the ones with the holes in them. Holy drawers, holy underwear. I just dropped in to say hi to you fuckers. Love you guys. I have to jump in the shower. Yes, please jump in the shower and wash your ass and get to work. Drive safely, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lady today though when I was standing in the bank, and I kind of like, it was one of those situations where you kind of start from the bottom and then you like work your way up. And I was like, oh, she's wearing boots that I like. Oh, I have pants that are kind of like that. Oh, her jacket has a artwork on the back of it.
And then she realized she was looking in a fucking mirror.
No, but I was like, it was my future. I've seen my future and it is bright.
All right, good.
I've
seen my future, and it's just the continuous loop of disappointment and mediocrity.
My parents are probably disappointed in me too, but I care less than I did.
Your parents love you.
Okay, well they can do both.
Your parents are good. I like your parents.
Okay,
they're good peeps. I think we'll start the wind down now.
Okay,
because I'm tired. It's been a long day. Nicole Leo. So next week, kids, we got Jeff Klein, Tampa Bay comic, very funny guy, beautiful voice. You're gonna like this guy's voice. He's got a very deep, very well-spoken, commanding type voice.
I've heard him speak. I've talked to him. He's got a soothing voice.
Yes, he does.
He's got a very smooth voice.
He's got a buttery baritone.
Yeah.
He's got a much better voice than I do. People say I got a nice voice. I don't think so.
Do you know if he does voice acting work?
He does not. Well, we've actually spoken about it. And I think he's got a full-time day job, a very good full-time day job. So I don't think he's interested.
I want to talk to him a little bit about wigs and wit.
Okay. Your mom said, very proud of our Coley.
Oh.
Damn right. I like that.
Thank you.
That's good. They are definitely proud of you.
Okay. I'll take it.
You're their little princess.
I'm their only princess.
Okay. I tell my son, you're my favorite son. I'm your only son. I'll be fucked up if you weren't my favorite. You're my only son that I know of. So Jeff Klein next week on the show. Where can we see you this weekend, Nicole?
Friday, you can see me belly dancing in Acropolis in South Tampa at 7 p.m. and at Whiskey North at midnight, dancing because Hora Loca. And then on Saturday, I will be in Sarasota doing a private party.
Woot, woot.
And then on Sunday, I will be attending the Steak Break premiere again. And on the 13th and 14th, you can catch me at Hallucination Before Christmas at the Castle. And that is both days. I don't know what time the party starts. I think it's like 10 till 3 in the morning. And then on the 15th, I will be go-go dancing for the Delicious Beats, the 60s cover band in Clearwater. And then on the 20th at Gaspar's Grotto, as well as the 27th at Gaspar's Grotto.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I got some other stuff in January, but we'll talk about that when we get closer.
I've gotten 2 emails in the past 24 hours trying to book me to do corporate gigs.
Are they both for December 24th?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I've been getting a lot of stuff for December 24th. Like people are waiting till like 2 weeks.
No, I'm getting stuff for like this weekend,
Well, good.
next weekend.
You gonna take it?
Hell no, not a corporate gig.
Oh, okay.
They want PG.
Oh,
Yeah, that ain't happening. Best I can do is PG-13, and it's all clean dick jokes. So that's not going to happen.
like dick jokes about being washed.
Well, that too. Let's see. For me, coming up this Saturday, private party. On the 19th, I will be at the Lion's Den in Ybor City.
Which, the Friday the 13th?
19th.
19th. Okay, sorry.
Oh, there is a Friday the 13th. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep, the 19th, I will be at the Lion's Den in Ybor. It's me, Katie Style, and Marie Williams. There are people going to be scarred for life.
Is that the cabaret something show?
The comedy cabaret comedy. Yeah.
Okay.
That show. I got to figure out where that place is. Then I will be in New York. So on the 27th, that following Friday, 27th Friday, Barton's Place, Mount Sinai, New York. Special giveaway. First 10 people to mention my name at the door will receive a commemorative shot glass. Custom commemorative shot glass. One of only 10 that will be given out to the public. So get them while they're hot. Commemorative. To commemorate the occasion of me going up to New York. You what? You don't like that word? Commemorative. That's what I said. Oh, that's funny. It's an inside joke, people. Don't worry about it. Just sit there and be not laughing. Stop it. Stop it. You stop it right now.
Desk titties.
Desk titties.
Can I motorboat them?
Yes, you may.
Glasses.
And then that's the only show I'm doing in New York. Like totally only show. And then I will be Beef O'Brady's in February.
In Brandon?
No, Beef's in Paris with the lovely Dan Gerlach.
I've never done this before.
You've never done what before?
Motorboated.
You've never motorboated titties before?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
You should try it sometime.
They rolled away. Spit on them.
Ew.
Wait, I have to hold them together.
Yeah, you gotta push them together like a titty Venn diagram, stick your face in and go. So now your mom knows how to motorboat titties.
I feel like I should wash them for you because they're pretty dirty and I feel like they haven't been washed since quite some time.
Probably not.
They've definitely
God knows what's on them.
They've been inside several shirts.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, so that's the show, kids. We're gonna be back next week with Jeff Klein. And we're going to, take it from there. You have anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
Don't shoplift. Be nice to retail workers and tip your hospitality staff.
I would like to add that there are 22 shoplifting days till Christmas. And if she likes the tip, give her the whole thing. What?
To tip.
Tip a lot. Tip often. Tip well. Yeah, that's the show, kids. We do this every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. I'll be back next week with Jeff Klein. And, enjoy your week. What you got to say, Nicole?
FUBAR out.